CIA is even in your name, Alicia.
It is.
How did you come to get involved in Jason Bourne?
Because of that. No, I had a call from my agents, and they told me that it was a new, that Matt and Paul Greengrass were going to team up again and do a new Jason Bourne movie. And as a big fan of the franchise, I was just excited to hear that, because I remember, like years back, I had read that they said that they closed that franchise and that it might never happen again. And so I was very excited when I met Paul for lunch in London, and I didn't have the part, but I got to tell him that I was a big fan, and then he told me about how he now thinks that the Jason Bourne movies can revive because the world has now changed so much. It's a new context and issues for Jason Bourne to handle. I think that the ones that the question of, well, surveillance and the question about privacy for people. And in this film you have actually two young new characters who weren't, their jobs probably wouldn't have existed when the last Bourne movie was made. It's Riz, who plays Aaron Kalor, and I play Heather Lee. Both of them are kind of prodigy hackers from the underground, and has chosen very different paths or way moral decisions how to use their abilities in IT and cyber. He's part of head of one of the biggest social media companies who now have a conflict with the CIA regarding the privacy that he has in his company. And Heather Lee and him are on the complete opposite sides of this issue, but I love the fact that they kind of molded from the same, what do you say in English?
Cloth.
Cloth, okay, great, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love the fact that it's actually interesting, because the cyber convention that is in the end of the film, it has another name in real life, but it exists, and it's the biggest IT hacker convention in the world that is being held in Vegas each year. And what I think is amazing, and Heather Lee actually does mention that in a car sequence with Jason Bourne, that they, CIA, and it comes to all different kind of countries and different sides of politics and underground communities and companies, they go to the same place to recruit, because it's all about finding the people who are who have the knowledge of IT and cyber kind of holds the power nowadays, and people need to recruit them, and they all kind of come from the same place, which is pretty interesting. Well, she is a key member of the cyber research team. She has a way of being able to analyze social media and predict what things are going to happen. Let's say if it's a big, in the beginning in Athens, it's a, help me with word, it's an uprising. Yeah. And she's able to predict big groups of people depending on social media. This is actually a real thing, which is very interesting. I found it was interesting getting to know and read about these issues before I did the film. And so that's her job at the CIA. I think it's pretty clear that she has one, and I think that is part of the beauty of the film, that you're trying as an audience. I remember when I read it the first time, you kind of go on quite many journeys of trying to figure out on what side she's on, or she's very ambiguous, but she also seems like she's on, not even, it's not like it's one or the other side. It seems like she has a very private, personal plan that is almost beyond that, and has very personal reasons to do certain things. So yeah, and it's kind of left a tiny bit in the air in the end of the film too. I mean, I just watched the film for the first time actually here at the Australian premiere, and as soon as his face come up on screen, it's just magnetic. He's such a brilliant actor, and I love the fact, you know, it's film. It's a part of the filmmaking with camera. He just can always rely on never doing too much, and it still kind of is so dynamic and diverse. And it was also a great thing to, I of course play the young newcomer who kind of wants to progress in the company, and he's he's both the person that she's up against, but also the person that I think she looks up to, and she's kind of his protege, but now she wants to take the next step. I think it's because I remember when I saw it, I was a young teenager when I saw the first film, and I was brought up, had been watching spy movies and Bond movies, and I think we all kind of had an idea of what that genre was, and suddenly with the Jason Bourne movie, it felt like they just revived the whole idea of what that genre was. And I think one part was the fact that it was able to prove that you can have an action-packed franchise popcorn movie and still be able to integrate very kind of social and political issues and questions, and also I loved the thrill that I felt like maybe Jason Bourne actually does exist out there on the street, because you kind of love the fact that it feels so real. It feels like it actually could be set in our world that we know it, how we know it.